What's up, everybody? This is Wilson Leung giving you a real estate update for the weekend of May 8th, 2020. First, I would like to share some of the properties we have for sale. 667 Bellevue, actually, it just went contingent, so it's not available anymore. It's a beautiful home in original Daly City, newer construction, upstairs, downstairs layout. We have 3244 Shelter Creek. It's a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,000 square foot condo here in San Bruno. 154 Meadowbrook, upstairs, downstairs layout, 4 bedrooms near Lowell High School in San Francisco. And also we have Leux Way in northern Westboro here in South City. That's still available, completely remodeled. And also 1241 Masonic. It's a TIC in Haight-Ashbury. We'll post more details below. Here's the market update. So sales price to list price for all of San Mateo County, we're starting to see a downward trend. It's only been about a week in May. However, we are seeing that listed sales price continues its downward trend. So one thing to note is it's still always above 100%. And this is for all properties, condos, townhomes, single family here in San Mateo County. A little bit more specificity here for properties above $1 million. It looks a lot slower, and on average, it sells for under 98% of list price. For properties that are under $2 million, however, the average is at about 102+% of list price to sales price. One thing to note about these slides, the bars are the days on market, which is deceiving because it's frozen right now during shelter in place. The squiggly line is going to be the list to sales price, which we're starting to see a downward trend. Not because properties are not selling at an average of a higher price, which you'll see later on average prices of solds. However, pricing strategy of sellers and also listing agents is changing a little bit because there's no public showings at this time in open houses for tour. So a lot of people are pricing closer to the value of what they are anticipating, which is a different trend versus if we were in a normal appreciating market here in the Bay Area. Next is what you'll see, red is active for sale and green is what actually has sold. So I think it's a given that the spring market entering into summer market inventory is increasing at this time, which you'll see from January 410 to 526 in February, 520, 581. And so far this month in May, it's at 605 versus we're starting to see a downward trend of actual sales. So in March, we had 409, the peak of this year's month so far. And in April, we only had 286. It'll be interesting to see exactly where it ends up to be for the month of May, and we'll keep our close eye on exactly what's going to happen. Sales price averages for properties above $2 million. It's pretty level. There was a spike in February from January, but ever since then, it's been pretty consistent. Versus any properties in the county that are under $2 million, you'll see there's still an upward trend. So we're seeing more of a slowdown in the higher end market versus the entry level markets and cities in San Mateo County. There's still a lot of demand for entry level at this time, which drives everything else as people move up to a bigger home. Here's a current Wells Fargo mortgage update for interest rates. 30-year fixed rate conforming is at 3.25, and so is 30-year fixed jumbo rates at 3.25. Thank you, Alan Russell, our preferred lender from Wells Fargo, for sending this email. You guys might have heard me say and our team say or see in the news that there seems to be a stricter guidelines slowly but surely more and more strict that banks are adopting for down payment requirements and also FICO score requirements. So that's something to keep in mind. It's harder to get a loan at this time. And last, just wanted to share a quote. The quality of your life is determined by the amount of uncertainty you can handle throughout your life. So if you can think of sports players, when they enter a game, there's always an uncertainty of if they're going to win or lose. And once they are finished with their career and things start to get a little bit more mundane, that's where sometimes people have everything that they could want, family, they made money in sports and they've gotten to a point where they could afford everything, buy that house. However, they go into depression because what they don't realize is, according to this quote from Ed Milet, sometimes uncertain times and entering uncertain situations actually drives success and actually drives our curiosity and our desire to do new things and experience new things. So the question I have for you guys is, when was the last time you experienced something for the first time again? Because if you imagine, whether it's prom, whether it's driving your car for the first time, a lot of the best experiences we've had and the most memorable came from doing things for the first time, came from having some uncertainty, entering that activity, but realizing that it was the best that has ever happened. And relating to our current COVID situation, this is really uncertain. And we'll look back at this time and we'll realize that we learned so much from it and we grew so much from it and we made adjustments that we are going to adopt habits, new habits for the rest of our lives. So just some thoughts for you guys. Hopefully this is helpful. If there's anything you guys want to see in our market update, would love your feedback and you can comment below. Have a great weekend, everyone.